Our records of our great accomplishments matter, for we learn from our past in order to move forward to our future in a more expedient and informed manner. In this building, we house the records of more than 125 years of service to our communities, our states, and our world. We have hosted numerous scholars from across the country, and they have researched various aspects of our societal changes, and we will continue to welcome many more in the years to come. We are so glad that you have joined us here today to celebrate Women's History Month, and we are honored to have two speakers who will be sharing a history of the women's political activism and ways we can engage in the political process. Before I introduce our first speaker, however, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our GFWC Executive Committee. These ladies are from around the country, and they give their time, their talent, and their treasures so freely in service to this organization. President-elect Sheila Shea from Massachusetts, please stand and remain standing. First Vice President Mary Ellen Brock from New Jersey. Second Vice President Marion St. Clair from South Carolina. Our Secretary Deb Strahanowski from Illinois. Our Treasurer Sue Ellen Brazil from Alabama. I was stumbling because we've been calling her Susie Ellen. I've already done it, sorry. Our Director of Junior Clubs, Kathy Jo Canterbury from West Virginia. And our Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Rosemary M. Thomas. I would also have the honor to introduce our dedicated staff. Our Director of Finance and Events, Derek Tennant. Our Director of Membership Services and Programs, Melanie Giesler. Our Director of Communications and Public Relations, Peter Charbonneau. Our Women's History and Resource Center Manager, Brian Coburn. Our Membership Services Manager, Kate Garlick. Our Office Manager, Lauren Schick. Our Events Coordinator, Lauren Jepson. Our Programs Coordinator, Jarrell Jones. Our Membership Services Coordinator, Jen Simpson. Our Communications and Public Relations Coordinator, Ashley Carter. Our Finance Coordinator, Frank Curran. Our Data Entry Assistant, James Sims. And we currently have an intern with us, and Taylor Kinsley. These dedicated officers and staff keep GFWC operating smoothly, and I thank each and every one of them for their commitment to our amazing organization. So, segueing into our first speaker of the day, we have Teresa Dyer, who is currently the Public Policy Analyst with the Girl Scouts of the United States of America. Teresa has over 30 years of experience in government relations and has represented numerous clients before state legislators and the United States Congress. She will be providing a brief history of the Girl Scouts and will discuss current programming and talk about Girl Scouts USA legislation agenda for the 114th Congress. She will provide information on how Girl Scouts USA is engaging their 59 million alumni. We should also note that today is National Girl Scouts Day. The Girl Scouts USA are celebrating their 103rd anniversary, so please welcome Teresa Dyer.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here with all of you today to celebrate our birthday. And like you heard, we're 103 years old, founded on this day by our founder Juliet Gordon-Lowe in Savannah, Georgia, where she assembled a small group of girls, I think it was 8 or 9 girls, who hiked and played sports and went on camping trips. So that was kind of the basis, and we've really grown what all Girl Scouts do since then. So I serve in the Public Policy and Advocacy Office here in Washington, D.C. Our headquarters is in New York, but our duty down here is to work with members of Congress and the administration on issues that affect women and girls. Our current CEO is Ana Maria Chavez, who is a true inspiration to our organization. And one of my favorite quotes is I like to hear her tell people that the average age of her boss is a 9-year-old girl. Our motto is to build girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. So our 103-year-old organization has come a long way and served millions of girls. I'd love to see a show of hands of those of you who are alumni, Girl Scout alumni. That's just great. Great to see you all. So we're happy to count you, as you mentioned, as one of our 59 million alumni. And we have one person here that's not an alumni, she's still an active Girl Scout, Emily from Girl Scouts of the Chesapeake Bay. Thank you for coming. So speaking of alumni, I wanted to share a few statistics with you, and there's also a sheet on your chair that lists some of these, but I think it's fascinating to know that 75% of the current female senators were Girl Scouts. And over half of the women in the House of Representatives were Girl Scouts. There are currently only 5 female governors, but all 5 of them were Girl Scouts. And some research has recently shown that 52% of women in business are Girl Scout alumni. One thing a lot of people don't know about Girl Scouts is we have our own Girl Scout Research Institute, which has produced many reports over the last 10 years on various different topics. And I'd encourage you to go to our website and look at some of those reports and download them, because they really have some great information. 2 years ago, they produced a report called Girl Scouting Works, the Alumni Impact Study, which highlights how many of our alumni attribute their time and skills they learned in Girl Scouting as being beneficial to their careers and businesses. So if you want to download any of those reports, it's www.girlscouts.org. I also put a little card on your chair, so if you were ever a Daisy, Brownie, Junior Cadet, Senior, or Ambassador, we'd love to have you sign up as alumni. And as an alumni, you'd receive a bi-monthly e-newsletter and updates on all our alumni events. So the issues we work on here in DC with Congress focus around science, technology, engineering, and math, which is referred to as STEM education, for girls to increase their involvement in STEM and ensure that every girl has the opportunity to explore and build an interest and possible career path in STEM-related fields. It's really important to get these girls interested at a young age in these fields. And a great way to do that is by mentoring. I know in Emily's council, there's a team of women from DuPont that spend a whole Saturday with girls, telling them what they do at DuPont, what their career is, and opening eyes to something that girls might not even think about or learn about in school. Our second issue is financial literacy and entrepreneurial skills. We teach them to strengthen these skills through our cookie sales program and badge work. Our CEO is currently serving on the President's Advisory Council for Financial Capability for Young Americans. We also this year, I hope you learned, we announced Digital Cookie, where girls are actually able to sell cookies online. So that has taught girls how to set up a business plan and really work on those skills. Healthy living, we do a lot of programming around bullying and relational aggression and helping them to learn how to build healthy relationships. And of course, we've always been campers, so we have a kind of a renewed focus on the outdoors. In fact, there's new badges being introduced today on the outdoors. So, like I said, we meet regularly with members of Congress, try and let them know, what all we're doing. A lot of them are kind of wide-eyed when we tell them we're involved in all of these things. And we have a system called the Girl Scout Advocacy Network, which is a grassroots network to help us advocate on these issues. We currently have about 13,000 members and are growing. And we've talked to Brian. I think we're going to have the staff here join our network, and you can look at the issues that we send out and decide if it's good to send out to your group to see if you're interested in doing a letter to your member on a piece of legislation. One important thing that I've talked with several of you about is Girl Scouts have something called the Gold Award, which is the highest award they can earn. It is the equivalent to the Eagle Scout, but nobody knows about it. So we are really working to increase the visibility of the Gold Award. And I was talking with Mary Ellen Brock, who was a troop leader in New Jersey and had a group of girls who all earned their Gold Award. So the Gold Award is the equivalent of if a girl wants to go into the military, she automatically moves up one rank. A lot of colleges are looking at it for scholarships, and so it's a great thing for a girl to have on her resume. And the projects that they do have to be sustainable. So, they put a lot of work into them, and then hopefully the community where they set up the program will continue. So next year is the 100th anniversary, so we're really going to be doing a lot of talking about the Gold Award, which is the 100th anniversary of the Gold Award. So our organization is made up of 112 councils across the country, and the largest one happens to be right here in our area. The Girl Scout Council of the nation's capital has over 89,000 members in DC, parts of Virginia, Maryland, and West Virginia. And I'd be negligent if I didn't mention they're always looking for volunteers. So if you'd be interested in volunteering, let me know and I can hook you up with the right person there. One of the programs that I worked with them on years ago, which I thought was just a great idea their CEO came up with, it was called the Young Leaders Program. They had a list of thousands of girls in inner city DC that wanted to be in Girl Scouts, but there was no troop leaders because their moms either worked or they lived with their grandparents. And so we set up the Young Leaders Program where we recruited young women from the area universities and gave them a small stipend, made up a backpack for their troop meeting, and they would go into these inner city schools and hold troop meetings for these girls. And it was just really an inspiration for the girls to meet somebody that was going to college and think that maybe someday they could achieve that as well. So that program is still going, and hopefully some of the other councils across the country will pick that up. So I think that's about all I have. Thank you so much for your time today. If you have any questions or need any other information, my card is on. We're right up the street, and thanks a lot for letting me tell you about Girl Scouts.
Thank you so much, Teresa. I don't know whether you know it or not, but we took a survey in our Clubwoman magazine what the favorite Girl Scout cookie was. And was it also on News and Notes? I can't remember where this survey was, but it was in our magazine for sure. And my personal is Thin Mint.
Okay.
Who all like Thin Mints out there? Yeah. Well, we're lucky because she brought some for us. So we thank you, Teresa, for taking your time on National Girl Scout Day, and as you look forward to working with you in the future.